what's up, guys, and welcome to the first episode of our brand new series. Um, so this new series is called Side. Sorry, the new series is called the okay. So our new series is called the Side Talker Podcast. Sorry about that. That start. Episode 1 is all about balancing school with social and emotional life. So yeah, so
And you guys might notice we're not like really editing parts out, and it's supposed to be meant like that. So it's just like
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All right, so much less informal, much less formal than some of our other podcasts where we edit a lot out, but we kind of want this to be more of a conversation talk, kind of talking about different topics that we would have talked about in some other podcast series, and we kind of took some ideas from there, and we're going to try to dive in a little deeper on them. So yeah, welcome to the first episode of Side Talker Podcast. I'm David Arts, the founder of Story 8 Help. With me today, I am with Luke Rhee, and yeah, I'm happy to have him on here. Sorry guys, we were also just trying a hot sauce challenge, so our mouths are kind of burning right now. Man, that static noise is annoying. All right, so the first series, we kind of wanted to be kind of talking about some personal growth because I found that personal growth is such a big topic that really needs to be delved in a little deeper and pulled out into different sections. And that's why we kind of, I went through kind of a general topic of personal growth and picked out a set of episodes, 12 in total, that we can talk about little different ideas, hypothetical situations, and we can kind of dive into them a little deeper, right?
Yeah.
So, obviously I chose balancing school with social and emotional life first, just because we kind of want to set the scene a little bit to what's going on in our world, especially because, some of our parents aren't in this generation.
Yeah.
We're kind of towards the beginning of it. And so, yeah, that's kind of why I chose this to start with, and I think it's going to be a pretty good one to start with. Sorry about that. The microphones are being staticky right now. Yeah, so let's discuss a little bit about like experiences or challenges relating to like balancing school, social, emotional commitments, and emotional well-being and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have any like experiences with that?
Well, I don't think I really have anything, but shoot. I guess I could say like we have to like balance there's a lot of like balancing in our lives. We have to like balance our like schedules, our like stress, and like it's just a lot of stuff we have to like we have to figure out.
Yeah, and I think especially because like you do a lot of like sports and stuff, and I do sports, and so I think sometimes it's hard to like fit it all together, and while at the same time keeping a emotional part of ourselves, our mental health part in check.
Yeah.
Along with everything else, do me a favor and take that thing off.
This?
Yes. No. That. Microphone muffler.
All right.
It's not helping. Anyways. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So I think, especially with sports, because sports take a lot of time, especially when you're into high school, because your coaches expect you to be there every practice, doing the best you can every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes you try your best, but it's just not your day, and I know it's very frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, it's more highly competitive than like, just like playing around.
Yeah. Um, and you know what? Like I feel like even with schoolwork, I feel like teachers expect a lot of you know trying your best, and some I feel like some teachers don't really understand that we have other extracurriculars
Yeah,
too.
and I was gonna talk about that too. Like we have to like manage our stress between like what we do and like the extracurricular we have like after
Yeah.
school.
Yeah. Um. So like, what do you think could be like some of the top of the list of like stressors that students have?
I don't know. Probably probably trying to like do your best in like sports while also maintaining like a high grade in school. That's also like I don't know like a top priority for like many students to try to get into good colleges and like try to get into a team for that college like because it's like high school nowadays is just like being more competitive and like trying to get into like college to get a good lifestyle.
Yeah, I agree. And like, do you think that like parents sometimes force a little too much too?
I mean, yeah, honestly, um, parents could be like a little pushy sometimes, but I mean, I guess that's a part of life. But we have to remember like we have to like manage our like stress levels, and then
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I completely agree with that. So, I mean, if you look at your day and you look at your friends' days, like, what do you think is like a struggle that students like face in like school, like a school setting? Like, do you think that students have like a lot of issues with like time management, peer pressure, academic stress? Like, what do you think is top of the line for students?
well, honestly, I think like it's not just one thing; it's multiple, and like what you listed is a great example. Like academic pressure and peer pressure, and I think that's like some part of the main examples of what you just said, and I could like we could just keep going on because it's not just like one thing that could like it's like um it's a different variety of like
Yeah, of course. I don't know. I feel like sometimes, yeah, I feel like a lot of times students have trouble with time management just because there's so much stuff that they want to do.
yeah
And, for me, doing all these podcasts takes a lot of time off of my day too.
yeah
Because I did a lot of planning for all this. And I feel like sometimes we just kind of lose the track of time
yeah
when we're doing something else that we want to do. So I feel like sometimes that's just a issue that we just kind of have to deal with.
and yeah trying to like balance that like with what we're having to do and like what we want to do is like we're like we should like balance that too. I guess like an example, I love to play video games, and I have to balance that with my schedule, like keeping my work on time and like doing my sports, and it's just like I gotta like balance both of them.
Yeah. So, do I did a little researching before this, and I found some kind of cool statistics of kind of impact on students who have like stress and kind of their performance because of it. So sorry. Okay. Sorry, there's static. Yeah, yours the whole time. Anyways, I hope there's no static in here. If there is, I'm gonna try my best to get it out. But, anyways, some statistics that I found and some facts I found was academic stress is a significant concern, obviously, for students from various educational levels, including secondary school and higher education. Report experiencing stress due to academic demands, leading to negative impact on their performance. So, what do you think about that?
I mean, I feel like the lead cause of that is like, you know, mostly stress, because if students and a lot of people have um, a lot of assignments that are due, and like they have to like manage that with sports, I would say, how would they be like able to balance it? They really can't do like anything in this situation to balance it, because like, they have to like,
Yeah.
they have to like do both of them. They have to like prioritize their day. They could like lose lots of sleep, and that could like affect their mental health, and like how they usually act. It could also affect their, other curriculars, like how well they perform in sports, and how good their grades are. Like, it could just like could all go down just
Yeah.
because, like, these assignments and extracurriculars.
Yeah. And I feel like I feel like extracurriculars is kind of like one of those things where it's hard to feel like you can be on a team and do work at the same time. Just because to be good at something, you need to practice over and over for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And I feel like coaches and teachers don't really plan out things at the same time.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, teachers are sometimes the coaches, and so it's hard to balance those two. But I feel like because I do bowling, so I feel like bowling every day after school, trying to get homework done. Now I have a job, so I feel like it's just kind of hard. I kind of have to do it at school just so I have time to do it, somewhere else, to do other stuff.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I got like water polo, and I also do swimming, and I do like club water
Yeah.
polo. So it's, it's like extracurricular, I guess, if you want to come there with that. So it's like,
So it's like a little more executive than
yeah,
high
than usual.
school.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel that's kind of how I feel too. Moving on to our other statistics, we have, according to the American Psychological Association, the APA, stress in America in 2022 survey result, money is a major factor of stress for 66% of adults, with 57% that stating current expenses such as food and rent as their main source of money-related stress. The remaining 43% of this group stay saving for the future as their main source of money related to stress. So obviously
That's
we're
actually,
kids.
yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
really good.
And obviously we're kids, so we have to look towards our future and look towards college and seeing if we can fund our own college and stuff.
And they said like 60% was like money related stress, right?
Yes.
Dude, I mean, in my opinion, I would agree, because there's a lot of like people out there that are like, they need money, so they're like really stressing about it.
Yeah.
And, it's like a big part of their life to be to be paying rent on time, being able to feed their children, and like, it's like, I would agree, like it's a big part, but I don't know what you think, but I would
Yeah.
agree on like what the APA says.
Yeah, and I don't know if you watch like some of these like judge shows and stuff, where like, anyways, there's like some judge shows where the judge is kind of like sympathetic, almost empathy, showing empathy to people who have financial issues, because you can't really solve that on your own. Like, it's so hard to come out of debt on your own. You need help
Yeah.
with people like that. And I feel like sometimes students, college students even, who, can't go to college because they don't have enough money. Their parents won't, support them. Their parents don't have enough money,
Yeah.
And so, personally, I feel like it's college is kind of another high school, just a little higher level of academics, narrowing down on what you want to do in life. Um, but I feel like it's a little hard to do some of that just because of financial issues. And I think that financial issues should not be able to keep you out of doing education, because I feel like education should be free.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that.
Um, so, um, obviously teenagers were high school students. What do you think about saving for the future? What do you like? Here it says the remaining 43% of this group states saving for the future as their main source of money related stress. What do you think about that?
Um, I mean, I don't really know what that like means. I guess like does it mean like saving, like
I think they're just like trying to save money, grabbing money for the saving, trying to get something good in the future.
oh
like
yeah,
college
then,
or
like
whatever.
yeah. I mean, I don't really see how that would be like a stress, but I guess that could be a stress. Like if you're just like saving up, that makes sense if you're not stressful. Because I mean, like you can like save up and like spend that money later somewhere else if you want.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're like planning on going to college and you're in
Yeah,
like senior
you, like,
year and
stress
you're
out.
like trying to get everything in place and trying to get that money in.
Then you would probably stress out because
Yeah.
You need to get that money.
But I think as high schoolers, sophomores and stuff, it's a little less
Stressful.
harmful and stressful to save money and stuff. Like my job, I save quite a bit of money. And I know a lot of students save a lot of money in the summer, so I think this just kind of shows that money is very valuable in
Yeah.
our world, and sometimes money gets in the way of other things that we want to do. And so I think everyone needs a buddy to be with when
Yeah.
they need help like that, to know that they need the help, and they know to reach out to someone about the issue that they're having.
Yeah, I agree.
Here it states that approximately 75% of U.S. adults feel that violence and crime are a significant source of stress in their lives. What do you think as a teenager? Like, what do you think of like? Do you watch the news a lot?
No, not really.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you like watch, go on social media and stuff and see like all these like crimes that's happening?
Yeah.
What do you think of, like, in your mind? What do you think of when you see those?
I wouldn't really see if like I wouldn't really see how violence is like stress related, but I mean I could see if it's like a big topic, like I guess about the war and whatever that's going on like Israel. Like I would see how that's like stressful and like stressing everyone out. But I guess other than that, like I guess like a single like I mean like a basic school fight in this like example. Like I don't know how that would like stress like kids out, but
Yeah, I think others can argue that fighting kind of makes you feel unsafe at places, and so you don't want to go. So maybe you're stressed about like you really want to go to this place, but you're really stressed that something's gonna happen.
And
so
like those what ifs too. So
and we are going to talk about some what ifs a little later. Some situations that we can go through. But in the meantime, here I'm gonna read the last two here real quickly. Around 34% of adults report feeling that stress is completely overwhelming for them on most days. And the same 2022 survey from the APA found that 21% of the U.S. adults reported that they experience forgetfulness. 20% report an inability to concentrate, and 17% report difficulty making decisions in the last month as a result of the stress. So like, if as a student, do you have any concerns about like concentration towards your schoolwork, or forgetfulness towards your schoolwork if you're really stressed for like a test or something?
honestly, yeah. I mean, as a student, I think being like kind of forgetful is like being a stress because you have all these lists of stuff to do, and if you like kind of like forget what you're supposed to do, it's like, what am I supposed to do? I forgot like what I'm supposed to do. Like, and I think what the APA is saying here, and I could like see this in like a real life example. Parents do have a lot of stress, and I would completely agree with that. Um, and like decision making and whatever. I would say like some parents have that problem too, because it's very difficult to like handle, especially if you're like a new like parent with like
Yeah.
a newborn baby. It's difficult to like make these options and choices.
Yeah.
It's just you're dealing with like a new setting, and
Yeah.
it's it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, and I kind of like the way that you said that. Jesus, kind of the idea of when you're in a new like hobby career, new space. It's kind of hard to like fit yourself in at the
Yeah.
beginning, just because you don't know the environment, you don't know what it's like. I feel like that's for everyone, teenagers, adults, grandparents. Um, it's just kind of like, um, you just walk in and you're just like sitting there, like you don't know what to do, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's really stressful because that's really stressful because like you don't know what to do, like you're just awkwardly sitting there. You
Yeah.
go to a school dance and you're just there to show up. Well, you have like no one to be with, so you just like sit in the corner by yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people, in that situation, someone walks up to you and they're like, what you doing here? Like you want to do something, and you don't know what to say because you never really
Yeah.
understood the whole environment
And
thing.
you don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you're like new to like this whole environment. and
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. So, going back to the around 34% of adults reporting feeling stress, is completely overwhelming for them most of the day. Like, obviously, through your whole life, like, have you felt stress almost every day, or a little bit?
I mean, yeah, I definitely like felt a lot of stress before, and that's for I guess finals.
Yeah.
Finals day.
I feel like it's just normal to feel stressed.
Yeah, I mean, stress is. It can be a good thing to have and a bad thing.
Yeah.
And like an example of good stress is like, um, getting your priorities straight and
Mhm.
do what you're having to do properly.
Yeah.
Bad. I guess a bad example of stress is like having way too much stress, like on your hands,
Yeah.
and just like overworking yourself every day, like you're just like exhausted.
Yeah.
And like you know where I'm coming from, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of adults put their own issues and others' issues on themselves, and that's kind of what makes them stressful. That's what makes them stressed.
And it's not only for adults; it's like
Yeah.
everyone in this world. It's like
I've
students.
definitely put a lot of stress on myself for different situations and stuff too. So,
Yeah.
um, so we're going to talk a little bit about the three separate things now. Kind of, school life and the emotional part, and then the mental health part that comes after that.
Well,
That
that's
kinda just
a big
wraps it
part.
up.
Yeah.
For school life, academic responsibilities and the pressure to succeed is a huge part of being a student, right?
Yeah, it's a very very big part.
Especially when we have our parents on us, your peers, your relatives,
Yeah.
the culture that you live in.
Especially if you want to be like a very successful person. Like,
Yeah.
You really gotta like try hard in school to like get into a good college and maybe like a good future.
Yeah.
Good future.
So like, do you think should students have this much pressure to succeed in school?
Well, I guess it depends what you mean or how you define this much pressure because obviously pressure, like different amounts of pressure can be like different for other people. And
Yeah.
if I'm like from my perspective, um, pressure is a lot for me. Because um, pressure is just like like I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and like it's a lot. So,
Yeah.
but you have to like handle it one way or another, and that's like coping with like this pressure and like stress you get every time.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to find the balance of your pressure to, the highest pressure to the lowest pressure, and you just kind of have to find a middle for you. And you can't really judge someone on their pressure based on and their stress based on your
Yeah.
pressure and stress level. So you might see someone who is swamped with homework, and tell someone else who is just like their pet is sick. You can't tell the person who's pet is sick that don't worry about it. It's just some it's just a pet. You can get more because if I was the pet owner, I would be really stressed out. I would have a lot of pressure on me to get this pet healthy because it's my responsibility,
I
right?
completely agree.
So
it's like, I guess it's like different perspectives is
yeah,
a very important part of the topic that we're talking
Yeah.
about.
so
It's different for everyone. Like, if we're thinking about like tragedy that happened,
Right.
I guess like a death in the family. That's one. It could be a lot for that family, that like individual, and another person might not even be even like even knowledge about like the whole thing,
yeah,
and it could like it's a wide variety.
absolutely. Um, so is there like some study habits that study habits, organizing tools that you use that helps you like manage school, manage stress, manage kind of all those things as a teenager, going through school, going through extracurriculars, kind of that stuff.
I guess very important thing is always have a schedule. And I feel like having a schedule is um not only going to help you, but it's like going to like you're going to use it in the future, and like every time you're gonna use it, it's like repeat. Because if you don't have like a certain like schedule set up, then you're all going to be all over the place, and like that's like how you build pressure and stress. Like I have schedule set up. Um, I'm here today since I have time, and then tomorrow I have to do like swimming stuff since I have that. And basically, I'm going off my schedule right now, and it's really helping me. Um, just like like I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, and like it's helping me manage my stress levels because I'm not having to remember like everything. Like
Yeah.
and like everybody can do this too. Like they can like write it down on like a calendar. Like you can like use your phones too, and like
Yeah.
it works. It works.
So if you don't get anything else out of this video, one thing that you should do, is build a schedule. That's it. Build your own schedule. Follow your schedule, and I built schedules before. It decreases stress by a lot because you think that you have so much to do, but when you plan it out over a period of time, you realize that I can do this. This is not that much, and you can that's why building a schedule is really important because if you know what you want to do and you know when you need to do it, then all you have to do is just do it at that time.
Yeah, I completely agree. And if any of you guys have any questions, then just like leave a comment below with the question, and we can
Yeah.
answer in the next episode.
And we can, if you need help building a schedule planner, we can always build one for you. Just let us know. We have some pretty good ones that we use. And Google Calendar always works, guys. Sometimes the simple way is the easiest way.
Yeah.
And the easiest way is the best way sometimes. But if you're more of a handwritten person, on the top, put the month, the days, and then write down everything you need to do that day. And write the time down. Wake up at 7 a.m. Be ready, eat breakfast by 8:30 a.m. And then do your first activity, second activity, break, whatever you want to do. And we haven't talked about this too much, but taking a break is also a really good stress reliever.
Yeah.
I highly, highly, highly encourage breaks throughout your whole day.
With whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So if it's from sports to just watching TV, just take a break from it because it could either increase your stress level or I guess increase the pressure of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned TV too because if you're watching TV shows all day, you're gonna lose track of your time. And so set a timer, right? Set a timer for an hour. You're gonna watch a TV show for an hour. You're gonna watch the end of one episode, or set a boundary for yourself because that's the only way you can build a schedule, right?
Yeah.
You can't build a schedule and not follow your schedule because it's just it's kind of the feeling of when you finish your schedule, it's kind of rewarding, right? The next day you're gonna wake up feeling so much better, and you're gonna follow the next day's schedule, and you're just gonna feel so much better, and so. And some of the other stuff I have written down here was organized working spaces. Carve a time out to clean your desk.
Yeah.
Make sure your desk is clean. If it's not clean, clean it, right? It literally took me an hour. Put some music on, clean your desk, do whatever you need to it.
Maybe even clean your room.
Yeah.
Just take some time off if you need.
Yeah, and that's always a stress reliever too. It's just cleaning. And obviously distraction-free zones. So you want to make sure that when you're doing homework, when you're doing more of those educational things, you want to be in a space where you don't have your phone. You don't have you may have music in, but you don't have your phones to check social media all the time. You don't have your screen up doing something else. You want to make sure that you're focusing to whatever you need to do.
And bringing up phones, social media too, is one of, in my opinion, one of the biggest stress. It gives you a lot of stress. Not myself. I don't really use social media, but I know some people in my life that use a lot of social media, and I feel social media could impact you heavily, and could just control your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk more about social media in a different episode, which will come out. I want to move a little bit further onto social life. Exploring the role of friendships, extracurricular activities, and social media. And friendship is actually going to be another episode that we're going to do later on. So you will not want to miss that. So you want to come back. Definitely subscribe, like this video, if you haven't done so yet, because we got some good things lined up for you guys.
And remember to comment, guys, if you guys have any questions.
Yeah.
What you guys want in our next episode. Just comment down below, and yeah.
Yep. We're gonna be posting all of our questions that we ask each other in the description, in a post on YouTube. We're gonna do some shorts, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna do some fun stuff here and there. Try and get some viewer engagement. So that'll be kind of fun. But moving on, we want to talk about stress relieving um, friendships, extracurricular activities, and social media are, indeed stress relievers to some people. But they're not replacements, right?
Yeah.
You you do social media, you do extracurricular activities, you make friendships as a way to help you relieve stress. But they're not supposed to replace whatever the stressful thing is.
Yeah.
So, in your life, is there an example that like you think that stress, sometimes you replace social media or you replace extracurricular activities in front of something else that's more stressful to you?
Yeah. I mean, if I have like work that's like due like tomorrow or like um, I guess like an assignment that's due tomorrow, but you guys get the point. I guess I would ask my coach, for like a day off maybe, so I could like get on with my work and like finish it. And my coach would support me, cause he knows that like I'm always like trying my best during these activities and
Mm-hmm.
competitions. So it's like
And I think it's one thing where you show up every day, you do your work, you try your best,
yeah,
and you try your hardest to succeed. And then there's another thing where you go in, barely go in, skip every other or just you know never go in,
yeah,
and just like when you're in, you're just like not trying your best. Your coach is always on you, and I feel most coaches will want to be like, oh yeah, I get you. I know you try hard and stuff. And they'll let you off with a break. They'll let you off with something that's important to you. Um, but not so much with kids who go in barely, who just don't try their best.
yeah,
So I guess it's kind of one of those things where you want to try your best at all times. You want to, even if you don't succeed, right? Um, we making this podcast series. I don't know if we're going to get tons of viewers. I don't know if we're going to get zero viewers. But I'm going to try my best to make this series as best as it can be. And obviously, the result is the result. But if you try hard, things will come in time. And so I encourage all of you guys to try your best in everything that you do, just because you never know. Something that you think might not work out might actually work out towards your benefit. So, um, in the same field, staying clear of social media influences. So like mental health, talking in which we're going to talk about in other episodes. But like, what do you think about like social media influencers who like really pick up on people who shouldn't really be following them or thinking about them? Because let's be honest, like social media sometimes like really brings our stress levels up because we want to be like them, we want to be exactly who they are. So like, what do you think about like people who follow all these millions of social media stars and like crying over them like as if they're gonna be one of them later?
I mean, I really follow. I like, if I'm gonna be honest, like I follow like a lot of people, like with millions of followers, and I mean, I'm. It would be like a cool way to be like one of them, but we shouldn't be like obviously like be them because we should follow our own dreams, and social media shouldn't like get in the way of us um with um like affecting these dreams. Like if you want to be an influencer, like like go ahead. Like I don't know if you're gonna like be successful or not, but you could try. Obviously there's some like downfalls with that, but it could work out for some people. And um like I guess like praying like for like a like for a person to be like um their own like
Yeah.
I mean I don't really know how that's going to go because you have to like put in some effort to like be popular over the internet, and it's
Yeah.
not just gonna happen like that because like it's like it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And
And sorry, cut you off here. We're there's a little bit more cover here, and
okay.
we're hitting to about the 40-minute mark here. So I want to go through the emotional part real quickly here, emphasizing self care, mindfulness, and recognizing signs of burnout, such as being tired, unable to work, headaches. Stop working so hard, guys. Take breaks, take naps, drink water, take meds as needed. Prescribed by doctors over the counter. I'm not here to tell you guys what to take, but try not to stress yourself out. Try to be
Not
a little
too
more.
much.
Yeah, try to be more. I like to say more. Playful, giving yourself time to have fun, because you're not gonna live forever, and you want to be able to reach the top. You want to be able to be the best person you can be, and to be able to do that, you have to be able to have yourself some ways to release stress. So, we do have interactive segment here, which we're not going to really talk about here. We're not going to be able to, but I'll put them in the description below. Comment on them. I'll put a post out there too later on. Um, consider really consider commenting on our video, just because we really want the read feedback on how we're doing,
Yeah.
because we want to make this the best it can be, and we know that we need help from you guys to really let us know, like, what you guys think about, honestly, what you guys think about this episode, um, what we can do to make this better for the next episode, because we'll take all your advices in, and we'll try our best to make this pop.
Yeah. And one last thing, my dad always told me, like going back to like stress, like handling stress. My dad always told me, "Oh, if you work hard, like if you um try and like work hard, you should um like balance that with how you play hard." So I guess if you're like using 75% of working hard, then also use 75% for like doing something you like, doing something fun.
Yeah. So, kind of wrapping this up, we talked about time blocking, setting schedules, spending time for yourself, taking breaks, prioritizing mental health. That's a huge thing, guys. You want to be able to prioritize your own mental health, because you can't help others, you can't do other things if you don't have good mental health. Because mental health also affects your physical health, and if you're not physically unable to do stuff, then you're not going to have a great life. So, I strongly suggest considering what we talked about here, and all our tips. Try them out. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Find your own. Obviously, different people have different ideas, different things that work for them. So, try your own thing and let us know what you guys find out. Comment on this video. Um, experiment with different strategies. If ours work, amazing. If it doesn't, it's okay, because you it's okay to be different. It's obviously we talked a lot about physically being different, mentally being different, but it's okay to have different techniques, because it really matters on what we do to ourselves to help us, right? Because your things might not work for me, but my things might not work for you, but we might have some things that work together, like scheduling things. So one last thing that I want to say is be brutally honest to yourself about different topics. You want to give yourself critical feedback, because you want to build on top of your knowledge. You want to build on top of your strengths and weaknesses. So I guarantee that if you be fully honest with yourself, you'll succeed life no matter if it's mentally, emotionally, or physically. Um, you just need to right now, find yourself and find a way to connect with yourself a little better. And you know what? I've learned a few things watching videos here and there about emotional stuff and physical stuff. And over the few years, I've really tried to learn to add the word "yet" after all these negative sentences, like "it's not working yet," or "I don't know how to do this yet," or "I can't do this yet," because it kind of tells yourself that I do have room to grow, but I know that if I work hard at it, I will grow. And that's what the word yet at the end of the negative sentence means.
Yeah, I agree.
Topics for next episode. Episode 2, the impact of social media on self perceptions, media pros and cons. What does it do to teens, adults? How can it be beneficial? How can it be harmful? And what does it do to our mental health? Right.
Yeah.
So this is the end of our podcast episode today. Sorry guys, it's a little rushed. We're actually trying to follow our schedule here because we got some other stuff to do.
Yeah.
While I still have this kid here with me. So subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Share this with all your friends, family, who you think could benefit from this. Share your thoughts through our comments. We're going to be posting questions, so make sure you answer those. And all of our social medias will be in the descriptions below. If you need to reach out to us, it will all be down there, so feel free to reach out. And thank you guys for watching this first episode with me, David Archer, founder of Story 8 Help, and Luke. Thank you for being here with me today.
Yeah, no problem.
We will see you guys in the next one.